Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy, and I'm here. I feel good. Got some fun announcements for you guys tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get rocking. Let's go. What's poppin'? Knicks family, what's good? Hope you guys feel good because I feel good. You know, it's been a wonderful Thursday. What more can I say? It's been a wonderful Thursday. You know, I feel like I got some good things accomplished today as far as working with clients and doing some things and getting some things set up for Knicks fans. So, yeah, it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And I hope it's been the same for you all. You know, I'm going to start off with the first announcement. Well, I might as well go on and do a couple of the announcements. I'll probably do it throughout the show. I'll make a couple of these announcements throughout the show. But the first announcement, and those who are here early, you get a chance. You got first dibs on the announcement that I'm about to throw out there. So, you know, that's a plus for you all. The first thing I want to talk about, fantasy leagues. All right, we got fantasy. We got a NBK fantasy league. We got two of them set up right now. Two fantasy leagues set up. One is a cash league, and one is just a fun league. All right, in the cash league, we can have up to 20 players, 20 teams in the cash league. Costs $20 to get in. And the money will be split evenly, not evenly, will be split up amongst the winners. I think it's $200 for the winner, $100 for second place, $50 for third place, and then it goes on down the line, fourth, fifth, highest scoring person in the league, so on. All right. So I'm going to send out those links shortly. All right. I'm going to send those links out very shortly. All right. And we will also have a fantasy league for a football fantasy league, but that's going to be on NBNY. So if you're not subscribed to Nothing But New York Sports, NBNY, subscribe to NBNY. All right, so that you can, but I'm going to send out those links as well. Get those links together. We're going to send those out. And then, of course, we got a free league so that you can get onto the free league. These leagues are not yet up on the website. The links aren't up on the website, but I am going to put the link here in the chat, and I'll put the link in the description. So that way, if you want to get into the leagues, you can get into the leagues. But remember, the cash league is only 20 teams. The free league is only 20 teams. Okay. For the free league, let's start with the free league. Just talking about the free league for a minute, and I'm putting up the link as we speak. So those who want to participate in the free league, and I may have two free leagues, okay, so that you know, we can get enough people in that want to participate. Here's the link, and you can sign your team up tonight. It's available. That's the free league. All right, the draft for this league is on September 19th at 9 p.m. Okay, but we'll log on. I'm going to do the draft. The draft is at 9 p.m., but we're going to broadcast the draft live. We're going to broadcast the draft live for the free league, and we're going to broadcast the draft live for the cash league. Okay? And we will, so we'll have to get on about an hour early. All right, you know, just to make sure that we're set up and everything is ready. So those who are going to participate in the league, I would like everyone who signs up to participate in the league instead of, you know, participate in the draft instead of just, you know, letting the computer draft for you. I'd like everyone to participate in the draft, but we will have it. We will broadcast it live, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time doing it. It's going to be fun. All right. So that is the fantasy league, the free fantasy league The draft is on September 19th at 9 p.m. The draft room is going to open 15 minutes before draft time, and we'll have time to talk about it. All right, we'll have some time to talk about it, so we have some more information about it. The Cash League. I'm going to put up the link for the Cash League in case you're interested in joining the Cash League. In case you're interested in trying to win $200. This is the link. It's in the chat right now. That's the link for the Cash League. All right. So if you're interested in winning $200 or $100 or $50 or $15 or $10, join the Cash League. Okay, join the Cash League. So those are the links to the free, and the cash NBA fantasy leagues. And in a little bit, I'm going to send out the links to the football league. But remember, the football league is going to be, we're going to broadcast the draft live for the football league. And that's going to be done on NBNY. So if you have not subscribed to NBNY, please subscribe to NBNY so that you can participate in the free fantasy league. Okay, there'll be a couple of games that we do on the NBNY with the fantasy football with NBNY. There'll be a couple of different games. All right, and if we fill up with the fantasy league, the NBA fantasy league, if we fill up, we'll maybe open up another one. I have a couple of people that are interested in managing those leagues. So we'll open up another league. All right. So those are a couple of announcements tonight, and I do have another announcement that I'm gonna make a little bit later on in the stream. Another announcement. So stay tuned, because I think some of you guys are gonna want to be part of the next announcement that I'm going to make. And of course, like I said, I'm going to put up the links to the football fantasy league as well. But please continue to pay attention, because you're going to want to hear, you're going to want to participate in a couple of things that we have going on. We're doing a lot of things. All right, but let's talk Knicks first. Then we'll get to some of these other things. All right, let's talk Knicks first. Knicks Rebirth. So I just have a question. I think I know the answer for most of you, but some of you, based on, what's that guy's name? The guy that's selling his fandom, based on that guy, Evan Perlmutter, maybe the Knicks aren't in a rebirth. If you read some of the garbage that he was spitting, I don't know. But what do you think? David Fizdale obviously thinks that we're in a rebirth. And all you can do is respect him for that. You know what I mean? David Fizdale likes to talk. And I know a couple of streams ago, I talked about, I asked the question of whether or not David Fizdale talks too much. Should he be quiet sometimes? But he likes to talk. Whether or not you believe he talks too much or whether or not you believe he should be quiet, he likes to talk. I have no problems with him saying that we're in a rebirth. And he talked about some other things. He was at one of the Knicks, one of the kids' camps, and he talked about just what they're building in New York and some of those things. So this is a article by Mark Berman from the New York Post. David Fizdale lays out an awesome plan for the Knicks rebirth. And according to David Fizdale, he says, it's already happening about the franchise's rebirth. Kristaps will come back healthy. He was already having a big season last year when he got knocked down. We had an awesome draft with Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, and Alonzo Trier. And that caught my eye. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about that, Alonzo Trier. That caught my eye. Alonzo Trier, our two-way player. And when he's saying two-way, he doesn't mean offensively and defensively. He's saying two-way as far as going from the NBA to the G League, that kind of two-way. You know what I mean? He said, and these guys are sticking to an awesome plan, talking about Scott Perry, bringing in guys maybe that didn't work out at a place before, but are high draft picks. With good player development, good culture, they can turn into something they were expected to be. We're doing it the right way. I think that says it all. You know what I mean? And Emmanuel C., I see what you said. Nah, man, I'm not turning into a Fizdale hater. I'm just asking the questions that maybe some people are afraid to ask. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here to do. I'm going to ask the questions that people might be afraid to ask, or that homers, may not want to realize, like with Porzingis. I'm not afraid to ask those questions. I'm going to ask the questions. Whether or not I believe he speaks too much or talks too much or not, I think he's okay. Maybe every once in a while he says something, but I'm cool with him. I like David Fizdale. I like everything that he's doing. I like everything that he's doing with the Knicks, and I really do like the term rebirth. I don't know if it was David Fizdale. I don't know if it was Mark Berman, but I like the term rebirth. It really brings a lot of promise when we talk about rebirth. We're born again. You know what I'm saying? And that means we're starting something new. You know what I mean? We're starting fresh. So yeah, I really do like that word, and I think that I know a lot of people that say with James Dolan here you can't really start fresh, but I think I disagree with that. I think I disagree because James Dolan has not stepped down, of course, but he's stepped aside. He's got Steve Mills in there. That's his rat. That's his rat. That's his guy. Steve Mills has been the guy for a long time that is there to watch over whoever the president, general manager, whatever it is, and go back to James and say, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, we need to get Phil out of here because blah, 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 blah. That's Steve Mills. That's what Steve Mills is, I think, for James Dolan. That's his guy. You know what I mean? So it's, in the aspect of having James Dolan and Steve Mills here is not a rebirth, but in the mindset, the way guys are approaching their current tenures with the Knicks, I think we see a new mindset. And that has come from the changeover of players. Usually in the past, I hate it when we continue to change players, move players. That's what happened with Melo here. Not that Melo didn't have his faults. He had plenty of faults. But Melo went through 70, 80 players on his team because we had this carousel of players coming in and leaving, coming in and leaving. How can any player win with that? And what I was afraid of when we found out that KP was a player and had the potential, keep that word there, potential to be the franchise player, I was afraid that we were going to go through the same cycle. I don't know how many players KP's had since he's been with the team, how many different teammates he's had since he's been with the Knicks. But I was afraid that we were going to go through the same exact cycle. And we may do a little bit of it in the next couple of years. But I think that we'll have a core in place. So that core, I believe, will remain the same. And then there'll be, some guys on the outside that come and go. That happens with every single team. You know what I mean? But I was definitely afraid that KP was going to go through those same things. I believe that right now, with the organization feeling stable, looking stable, and acting stable, maybe the next year or two we go through some of those changes, but I think we've set ourselves up for a long, strong future. So yeah, I do agree with the word rebirth. I know some people are going to disagree with me. I'm pretty positive some people are going to disagree with me. And childhood time machine, I see what you said. I'm gonna respond to that in a minute. Childhood, see, now see, you messing me up, man. You're talking about Melo. But yeah, I believe a rebirth is, if it hasn't, it's happening. Yeah, he said it the right way. It's happening. It's happening right now. You know what I mean? And you can see it with their mindsets. Hopefully, you know, you can see it with their mindsets. Now, of course, the Knicks are going to put out video. Players are going to put out video. Things to show that they are actually turning around and moving the culture forward. They're going to show those things. They're going to put those kind of videos out. Every team probably does. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But it's good to see it, and I truly believe that it's happening. Now, childhood time machine. Yeah, I'm gonna address that about Melo. I'm not making an excuse for Melo. And you know, now we're going back to old stuff, but I'm not making an excuse for Melo. Melo had 70, 80 players. Why? Because the organization was unstable. That's why. The organization had no idea how to build a team around Melo. Now, you can argue that you can't build a team around Melo. You can argue that if you like. I get it. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Robert Paris for the super chat. Said Rebirth once Knox and Mitch blossom. Yeah, I feel you. But you can argue that, you know, you couldn't build a team around Melo or whatever it is. You know, but I disagree with that too. You just got to have the right philosophy of play and the right style of play. And they did it for 1 year. I mean, for 1 year, they had the right combination of players. They were never able to duplicate it. And so when trying to duplicate it, they went through a carousel of players. You know, I mean, and if that, I can tell you right now, if that happens with KP, you're going to see the same results. You know what I mean? If that happens with KP, Kevin Knox, you know, you got two guys that are your cornerstones, and then you have this carousel of players that are coming and going in and out the door, the same thing will happen. And why will it happen? Because they're never going to build any continuity. They're never going to build any kind of cohesion. You know, that will happen. So hopefully it doesn't happen with KP. You know what I mean? Joaquin, however you say your last name, you're right. You're right. They built a team around them. They were just old. But they were never able to duplicate it, you know, with, okay, when those guys got old and couldn't come back the next year, they didn't look at the system and say, okay, let's try to bring in another player. You're not going to bring in another Jason Kidd, but someone who can maybe do some of those things. You know, a Rasheed Wallace, you know, is there someone out there that can do some of those things? But, I mean, that's neither here nor there now. You know what I mean? I think that the organization failed back then, and I hope that they're not going to fail now. That's why I do believe that it's a rebirth going on, because I believe that the organization has changed its mindset in the way that it's going to develop this team and the way that it's going to grow. You know what I mean? So that's why, yes, I do believe that there is a rebirth going on. A rebirth, a renaissance. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. And it upsets me when I see stuff like the dude putting his junk in eBay, you know, to get a little bit of fame. You know, I think it's whatever. He's not a real fan, obviously. We're going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it now, but we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But I want to hear from you. What do you think? Is there a rebirth? Are we in the midst of a rebirth that is going to last for years? Or are we going to go right down the same path? That's what scares a lot of people with the 2019 free agency, and it scares me somewhat as well. You know what I mean? Because we're on the right path, and we've seen time and time again. we've seen time and time again when the Knicks are on the right path, doing the right things, making the right decisions, and then we veer off course. You know, we go in some other direction. Phil Jackson, I thought, was making the right moves. I thought Phil Jackson was going in the right direction when he had Brook Lopez and, you know, we had Jerry Grant, you know, with some of those other guys that were on the team. I'm not saying that team was going to win a championship, but I thought he was going in the right direction in the way that he was building the team. And then I felt that he sold it out going to get Derrick Rose. You know, was I excited when Derrick Rose came? I was excited because I was like, you know what, we probably are going to, I thought we were going to make the playoffs that year. But at the same time, I did understand that it wasn't a good fit. I thought that on talent alone, we would make the playoffs, but I didn't think it was going to be a good fit. You know what I mean? And in my mind, in the back of my mind, I was like, he sold out. He sold out. He veered off course. He was moving in the right direction. Then he veered off course. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, let's take a call. Let's take a call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
How's it going, bro?
I'm chilling, man. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I know you're talking. This is JJ from Brooklyn, by the way. I called you a few times already. I love your show, man. You do a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I know you're saying Rebirth. I mean, I definitely think I've never been this excited about the future of this team in years. You know, I feel like, is it me or I feel like Perry really brings a respect, like a credibility to this franchise. That's what I felt since he's been here. I don't know if you feel that way too.
He does. I believe he does. I feel that he does. Yeah, I feel that he brings credibility, respectability, I think he brings respectability. Right. That was one of the reasons why I liked David Fizdale, and I wanted David Fizdale to be the coach over Mark Jackson, because I felt that David Fizdale also brought respectability. I felt that he was in the same. I think the thing with Jackson too was a lot, because you know the Knicks fans know he's in New York. I feel like that was part of it too. You know, you don't hire someone just because they're from there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. You know, but I thought that Fizdale brought the same type of, excuse me, respectability as Scott Perry, and them two together would, you know, really be able to bring the team, you know, put the pieces in place to bring the team back. All right, with those two, man, I just feel like a whole new, you know, just a whole new outlook, man, like a positive, really, like our future. I think, like that guy you were talking about on eBay, like he must not be a knowledgeable fan, because there was a time not to do it. I think it's right now. You know, our future's looking pretty good, man. He's not. He made a quote that, you know, he was upset that the Knicks didn't draft Michael Porter Jr. So I think that, you know, that. Come on, man! I might not even play this year. We don't need that right now. You know, I think that tells you a little bit about, you know, who he is and where he is as a real Knicks fan. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, Knicks luck. You know, we draft him. You know, he never plays. You know what I mean? With our luck, so I'm riding with Knox. He's looking good. You know? Yeah. You know, I appreciate the call, JJ. You know, I just feel it's just exciting. I mean, Frank, KP, Knox, the way Mitchell Robinson looks, we got young pieces, and we're gonna get another one. You know, I mean, I know you're not really about to tank, but me, I am. Like, if we can get another top 5 pick and get a Langford or a Williamson or Barrett, I mean, we're gonna be loaded with the young studs, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens on that front. We'll see what happens there. Yeah. Appreciate the call, JJ. All right, bro. Take it easy, man. All right, man. Have a good one. Peace. You too. Peace. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tanks to wanks stuff in a minute, man. We're going to talk about it. You know, I know, you know, we always got tanks to wanksters up in here. I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is, man. I like to try to win as much as possible if I can. So now, here we go again, guys. Yo, what's good, y'all? As you guys can see now, we still got people who can't get the rules right. when it comes to getting into the video chat. We got to go over it time and time again. But let's get to this next call. You're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping? Caller, you there? Maybe the caller's not there. All right, so let's open this up. I'm gonna start with Viv. Viv, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Hey, Sim, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. I've had a pretty good day. I feel good.
It's good to
You know
hear.
what I'm saying? So how are you?
Good, man.
Good. So what's your take, man? Are we in the midst of a rebirth, or do you think the Knicks are gonna go back to doing what they've done in the past?
I see a rebirth. I think we've kind of avoided a lot of those temptations that, we've tended to go for in the last few years. I see it. We've been very patient, especially in the off season, not really signing anybody to long-term deals. That's a staple of our past. Not trying to go for like flashy trades or any of the like we did a few years ago. Right. I think we're doing it right. I think like when you think about rebirth, it's really about starting over again, doing things I guess like the right way, building a foundation up properly. And I think we're doing that, honestly. I think it kind of got thwarted the last few years because when Phil was around, he had this idea to set up this offense and whatnot, but we still had at the time it was a prime Carmelo, and you can't really do both of those things. It's not really a rebirth. You're trying to basically do a retool on the fly, and clearly that didn't work out. Right. And even before that, it didn't. There was no real sense of a true rebirth or. We said rebuild in the chat. We'd try to avoid that word rebuild, but I mean, I guess it's analogous to that sense. We never really did that. Even during when Donnie Walsh came around, 2008, that wasn't really a rebuild or a rebirth either, because
it wasn't.
We only had one goal, and that was to get free agency, to get into the free agent market in 2010. Right. So we basically just went all out on that, and then we pretty much just ignored everything else. It was all about inflating people's values. So we didn't do that. The Isaiah years were all about, trading draft picks and just building the biggest mess you can build, and then topping that off with bringing in the same type of players, whether it's bringing in Steve Francis, whether it's bringing in Zach Randolph, just pretty much like top, it just was a big mess. And, before that, it was pretty much, either playoffs and just trying to get back to the playoffs in a sense. So there was no, I can't imagine, it must have been at least maybe 30, 35 years since we've ever been in this type of situation where, we've started from scratch. I mean, do you remember the last time? Because I don't remember it.
I do not remember. I don't remember since, I don't remember starting from scratch since we drafted Patrick Ewing, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. And even then, right? Like we did that. We still have Bernard King. So it's like, but he was injured, obviously. Right. But still, I mean, we tried it, and then all of a sudden we just, once '89 came around, and then we had a core of, I guess, Ewing, Wilkins, Mark Jackson, and I guess Rod Strickland came around, and then all of a sudden some of those guys just were, shipped away and traded for some sort of reason. Right. Got vets, so it was not really it was like kind of like a quick process at the same time. It was more like a retool. But I don't remember where we have gone into a season with this many young players. Me either. I do not, recall this energy that we've had. And it's a different energy too. It's not just the young players, but you have also these scrappy players that are coming in through the the G League system that are basically clawing at this, clawing for rotation minutes of some sort. So, it's been a while since we've seen that type of the young players, and it's been a long while since we've seen that, hunger and competition between different players. You can see it in the off-season workouts. Obviously, it's more publicized now than before, but
you see that hunger and drive that I don't remember seeing it ever. I don't remember reading about it. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's rebirth to me.
Yeah. Hey, Prince, what do you think about it, man? Let me ask you this. Do we have to wait until the off season? And Viv, I still got you open. I'm gonna let Prince, talk, and then if you guys, if you guys can have a conversation too if you want. But do we have to wait until the 2019 offseason to really know if the Knicks have truly made a rebirth? Because I think that's going to be a test. It feels like a rebirth. I'm going to say that. Feels like a rebirth. But we didn't have money this offseason to see if it truly is a rebirth. Right? We're going to have money next offseason. I think that's when we'll see, do the Knicks stick to their laurels? And when I say stick to their laurels, I don't mean, oh, no, we're just going to go with all 19 and 20-year-olds. I mean, stick with their laurels and saying, we want a certain type of player that's going to represent us a certain way, play the game, play a certain style of basketball, and we're not going to settle for anything less. Do we have to wait until 2019 to know if we really had a rebirth of the mind?
I don't believe that. We hit reset in the front office. We've basically hit reset with our whole roster. The only person that's still around is Lance and KP. Outside of that, we got basically a brand new roster. You have a bright future in Mitchell Robinson and Knox. And with a great coach. I don't see how. I think people are being a little bit too nitpicky with the Knicks and with Fizdale. I heard you beating up Fizdale too for talking too much. But I mean, what's wrong with speaking?
I wasn't beating him up. I was just asking a question.
It's kind of hard for 2019 though, because that's only gives Fizdale really 1 year to work with in a sense. And well with coaching. Coaching is it's a multi-year process in a sense. You got to teach things, but teaching, especially in, even with kids to an extent, a lot of that is, developing step by step, process by process. And, to ask Fizz to really, come into 2019 and then all of a sudden you're just, like a playoff or just basically have everything, complete 180 to what it is right now. Right. It might be asking a lot from him, that might be a lot of pressure.
That's true. Isaiah, I got you on the line, man. Isaiah's on the phone. What's popping, man? How you feel about it?
Feel about what? What are we talking about?
We're talking about, is it a rebirth going on? Is there a rebirth right now with the New York Knicks? Or do we need to wait until 2019's free agency to know if we really have made a rebirth, to see how we react?
You know what? Not 100% because from everybody, real Knicks fans, not these fake Knicks fans selling their fandom and the crying kid. Real Knicks fans know that it's been a change. We talked about a little while ago when we got the new regime in, and we all got this feeling of this isn't the same old regime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of real Knicks fans got that, because I got that feeling that this regime is not the regime of old, where it's just the same old. We're going through the site. We're going through the motions. This is a real regime of change. That's the start of the rebirth that we're gonna have. And I wanted, earlier I wanted to wrap my mind around 2019, but rebirth, building the right way. It's not just going to be 2019. It's going to be the next 2 to 3 years coming. So if we don't, I want a lot of the Knicks fans to know if we don't get anything in 2019, it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world, because it's still going to be a lot of talent in 2020, and the Knicks. The Knicks are going to get somebody. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
Right. And what people got to realize, just earning the right to interview people is a huge step. Just earning the right to interview people is a huge step in becoming something bigger than what we are now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you there. All right. Hey, Isaiah, you going to join us in the chat or no?
Yeah, I'm about to come on right now. My going to do it right now.
All right. Sound good. All right, man. Peace. Peace. Well, you know what? I think that the Knicks are in the rebirth. I really do. I think that we're in the midst of a rebirth. I think that we are. I still think. I think we're in the midst of it. I'm very, very interested to see what the Knicks are going to do in 2019, and I think that will really tell us if we've made a rebirth. Okay. Another thing that I want to get to that was in that article is Alonzo Trier. Okay. And caller, give me 1 second. Let me finish my thought here. Alonzo Trier. Caller, let me finish my thought. The first caller hung up. Another guy just came on. So let me finish my thought, then I'll get to you. Alonzo Trier. If you look at the article, David Fizdale mentions Alonzo Trier, with the draft picks. He says Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, and Alonzo Trier. Although Alonzo Trier wasn't really a draft pick. Everything that I see points to, as far as I'm concerned, Alonzo Trier being part of the future. That's what I see. I think, I feel like the Knicks believe that he's going to be a part of the future. I haven't seen enough of him play, honestly, to tell you what I believe about him. I just haven't. I can look at highlights all day. I don't know if that tells me everything that I want to know about him or everything that I need to see. I like to see players play full games, right? Because from full games, you get to see their body language when you get into stressful situations. You get to see, are they the type of player that starts to give you diminishing returns the more that they're on the floor? So I need to see him play more. And I am intent on getting to some of these Westchester Knicks games so I can see Alonzo Trier play. I will be at a few of those games just to watch him play. Because I'm very interested in what he can do. I've seen some things on both sides of the coin in Summer League. I've seen sometimes where he looked selfish, but then sometimes where he looked like he could play within the type of system that Fizdale wants him to play in. But for all intents and purposes, from what I see, it looks like to me that this kid, they believe he's going to be part of the future. So, caller, you're on Live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping, man?
Jason, thanks for taking my call. Sorry that I missed Tuesday's stream. I was at a friend's house, so I couldn't really call in.
That's
but
cool,
I should be back for the next couple.
All right. I appreciate you calling in anyway, man. Anytime you can get on, I appreciate you getting on, man. Hope you enjoyed yourself at your friend's house.
Yeah, so about the whole, rebirth thing, I do think that, in terms of the culture with Fizdale and, the general foundation of the team, yeah, you could say that we're having a rebirth, but just in terms of talent, we can't forget that we really are far away from being contenders right now. I've heard a lot of people saying we can make the playoffs this year or even next year, which I think is honestly crazy. At the end of the day, Kyrie isn't a guarantee, Butler isn't a guarantee, and it's still very possible that we get neither, and it's also possible KP's never the same after the ACL, and we're back at square one. So I don't think that's going to happen, but some people are just being a bit too optimistic about this team. Sure, we have KP and Knox as our two potential stars moving forward, and then obviously the supplemental guys, Ntilikina, Robinson. But again, talent-wise, we probably need to get at least either Kyrie or Butler, and then also hit on our pick next draft to be serious contenders in the next few years.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because I didn't get a chance to talk to you in the last stream, and we had a good conversation about Damian Lillard. My question was, if we got to the deadline, 2019, February 2019, we get to the deadline, and I don't know what the offer would be, but let's just say there was a good offer on the table for the Knicks to trade for Damian Lillard. Would you trade for Damian Lillard instead of, because in the summer, Kyrie is not a guarantee. But Damian Lillard, at that point, let's say he was a guarantee. Would you make the trade for Damian Lillard? Or would you wait and take your chances on Kyrie?
Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Probably not now. Sorry about that. Yeah, so about either Damian Lillard or Kyrie, you were saying if I should trade for him, or if we should trade for him if we have the option right at the deadline.
Yeah, if you had the option and you're still up in the air, you don't know what Kyrie's going to do. You don't know, Kyrie's not a sure thing. What would you do?
I mean, if I'm assuming the deal's probably like Knox in a first or like something like that.
Oh, I wouldn't do it if it was Knox. I definitely wouldn't do it if it was Knox.
But that's probably what Portland would ask for, though. That's the thing. Like, I don't think they would take like Ntilikina in a first or like Robinson, Ntilikina. And like, I think the deal would be too much, honestly. I'd rather take my chances with Kyrie. But if it is a deal like that, if it's a good deal, then yeah, definitely.
You would? Okay. Would you do Ntilikina in a first?
Definitely.
You would?
I mean, it depends, I guess, where we are at the deadline. If we're like last place in the East, maybe not. But if it's not top 5, then yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Oscar, always great to hear from you. And I hope that, I know school is going to be starting pretty soon. So, you may not be up this late, but I'm sure we'll hear from you sometimes.
I should be good for the Saturday streams.
Okay. Well, that sounds good because, when Knicks play on Saturdays, then we'll be on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, when the season starts. All right, Oscar.
Okay.
Thank you for the call, as usual. And,
Thanks for taking my call.
All right, man. Later. Peace. All right, good call. Always a good call from the child prodigy, man. Always a good call. Speaking of a rebirth, speaking of the season, speaking of the start of the season, I do want to make an announcement that we will be Nothing But Knicks. We will be at the home opener versus the Atlanta Hawks. And you all will have an opportunity to be there with us. All right. I have a deal with Madison Square Garden where you all can, if I get enough people, which is 40 people, to purchase a ticket to a lounge for $205. You can see the game. You have free food and beverage. You'll get to watch the Knicks warm up, pre-warm-ups, courtside. You'll get and you get a tour of Madison Square Garden. So hopefully you guys are interested. Again, $205. You get to, of course, see the game. This is the season opener versus the Atlanta Hawks. You get to see the game. You get to watch the Knicks in pre-warm-ups, courtside. You'll be in a lounge with food and beverage already taken care of. And then, of course, there'll be giveaways and those type of things. All right. So here is the link. Actually, I didn't put the link in. Let me do it again. I'm gonna add the link in the chat so you guys can check it out, get some more information, and there'll be even more information available to you. Okay. All right. There'll be more information available to you, so you can check it out. You can always email me, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of you guys there. All right. It really is a pretty good deal, and so it's $205 again. You get to, of course, see the game courtside during pregame warm-ups. You'll be in a lounge, food and beverage. You'll get a tour of Madison Square Garden, and then you can also do a package that's $220, and you'll get a T-shirt, a Nothing But Knicks T-shirt with it. So you can. It is available for you right now. For anyone who wants to participate, it is available for you right now. All right, and it'll be available. And let me not forget to mention that once you pay, until September 30th, it's fully refundable. Okay, so by September 30th, if let's just say we don't have 40 participants, then you can be refunded everything that you paid. All right, so it's basically, or if you just can't make it, something comes up by September 30th, you'll be refunded. All right. I'll continue to put the link in there so you guys can check it out, and of course, we'll continue to talk about it. All right. So let's keep on going, and I'll talk to you guys about it in a little bit, of course. All right. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, Sim, how's it going, man?
I'm chilling, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. This is Jay Dizzy in Brooklyn.
What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. We spoke last time. It was Summer League. I was telling you about Alonzo Trier at that point, and I could see, it really didn't click what I was saying. That this guy.
1 second. Oh, there you go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, caller. I'm sorry. I apologize about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking about Trier. I was saying him falling to where he goes undrafted. The Knicks are so lucky with that because he has just a special set of skills. You know what I'm saying? Where he just has a knack for doing what you need and just a natural aggressiveness into scoring the ball. He's really going to be good, especially at that 2 spot, which is where their hole is right now. If you want to call it a hole, because I'm looking in the future, 3-4 years, and right now that's the spot that doesn't have a man ready to go.
Right. Okay. So you think? So what do you think happens with Alonzo Trier?
Well, right now, Stan, what you want to be doing. See, I think Knicks fans, they fall in love with everybody else's superstar. And NBA chips aren't really built that way. You got to build your own superstars. So the Knicks are in a great position right now because they have potentially maybe 2 guys and a couple of guys that could be borderline, make an all-star game here, make an all-star game there. That's where you need to build. Have you 4, 5, 6 of that, because you're looking at a 10-year fight with the Celtics and the Sixers. So you got to be ready for 10 years. And that's not getting somebody else's 30-year-old. You got to have your own guys lined up, stacked up, ready to go. We need to be at the top of this draft in 2019 for Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett. And then we're set. Right, but this idea of trying to get somebody else's 30-year-old that's going down, who's trending downwards, is really not a good idea, and we always end up giving up prospects for that. And that's not the way to do it. So the Knicks are doing it right. We just got to sit tight and support it.
Okay.
Do the rebuild. Watch these kids grow. Let's see who's who when they're 23, 24, 25.
And you think Trier is going to be part of that?
At least he's going to be really good depth, because if they end up at the top of this draft coming up in 2019, that guy is going to be a starter on the wing.
Okay.
And honestly, I wouldn't think it'd be far-fetched if Hazonia turned into a borderline all-star player and be with this team going into the future also.
Okay.
Right, I know you consider him a power forward, but he's a 2, Sam. He's a 2, he's a 3.
I don't know if I consider. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go after this right here. All right. I don't know if I consider him a power forward, but I know right now when you look at the depth chart, that's where they have him listed at power forward. In my opinion, 6'8", 218, 219. He's probably a 3, but in small lineups he can play the 4. I mean, Melo plays the 4 a lot. Played the 4.
Yeah, but Melo was a good 240.
I agree with you.
With a knack for rebounding.
Yeah, I agree with you. But listen, I don't disagree that he can play the 2 as well. I believe he can. I mean, if you can have a long lineup of Frank at the 1 and him at the 2, right?
One more thing I just want to say, because I know you mentioned back when Trey Burke was playing at Dykeman that you wanted to see Frank do something like that. But I was already thinking at that time, we need to see Frank on the France national team. That's what we need to see.
Well, he's going to be there. He's going to be there. So
to be on that national team, on the men's team, and this is going to be his first time playing coming up with the World Cup qualifiers next month. This is his first time really getting a role. I know DeColo is still playing. Tony Parker is gone. So Frank is going to be near the top of the guard rotation for France, getting big minutes. And it's really going to be his first time, any time in his career, where he's dependent on versus men to do his thing. So watch for that.
All right, man. I'm going to let you go, man. Appreciate the call.
All right.
All right, peace. Yeah, Frank is playing for the national team. That's a good thing. I like that. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. I like that. I'm glad that he's playing for the national team. You know, he needs to get as much burn as possible. I still would have loved to see him down Dykeman or something like that, playing, getting it in. Let me see. Who am I going to come to? Guarmo, I'm going to come to you, man. You ready for me, bro? Let me see if I can get Guarmo up on the line. Guarmo, you ready for me, my man?
Yo, it's good, man. How you doing?
What's going on? I'm chilling, man. So, you think Alonzo Trier is going to crack the rotation at some point? Especially if he's traded. What do you think?
I'm not necessarily sure. I think he needs some more season down the D-League. And this is such a weird season, man, because what Fizdale's done is that he's acquired a lot of guys he's inherited a lot of guys, and we've born some guys who are on one-year deals, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, is this a season where – I'm not sure if this is a season where you can sit here and develop guys develop everybody like the way I want. I would love for us to develop a guy like Alonzo Trier, Mitchell, all these guys, but you also have to take into account we got guys like Moutier, we got guys like Tim Hardaway, we got guys like Cantor, and I know Cantor doesn't play Trier's position. We got a lot of guys that we also need to showcase to move, man. Like, I think it will be a failure if the Knicks don't get at least 2 draft picks, at the very least 2 draft picks for a lot of these one-year guys that got on the roster. So, look, Alonzo Trier, you got to take into account he has to somehow play the 1 or 2. Tim Hardaway Jr., Moutier, Frank, Burke. So I think it's hard. The thing I would do with Trier, because he's here long term, I'd stash him in the D-League for a lot of the time until maybe the second half. And then, you know, when the second half comes and we've made all the trades, the deadline's passed, then you bring him up. But for the time being, we got to improve his court awareness. We got to improve his decision-making on the court. And I think we could do that grooming him at the D-League level where he get 30, 40 minutes a game versus trying to fit him in with the big guys 10 minutes a game, 15 minutes a game here and there. So, you know, that's how I feel. I want to try to move some of these assets that are not going to be here next year. But, you know, the kid has talent. I like the kid, but let's if we're going to think about development, if Fizdale's really a development guy, it'd be smart to stash him, develop his game, add nuances to his game that he didn't have at Arizona, and see what we get in the second half. We have a whole second half to play him for 30, 40 minutes. So
right. Chris.
Yo, what's up?
What do you think, man? What do you think about what Guillermo just said about Alonzo Trier? What's your thoughts on Alonzo?
I agree with him. And hold on, Sam. I just want to say I'm a big fan of your page. Shout out to the chat.
Thank you.
And I just want to say there's 2 factors when it comes to Alonzo Trier. One is Tim Hardaway on the team and is Courtney Lee on the team, and how is he playing in the G League? Because if Hardaway and Courtney Lee are on the team, we need to showcase what like they are actually capable of, and we need to make Hardaway like the main focus so we could get rid of him and we could get more assets. But if Alonzo Trier is balling in the G League and he's proven like he deserves an NBA spot, then I would be fine with giving him maybe like 5 to 10 minutes a game. I'll be down with that.
Okay.
And I just want to go back to the last one with the Knicks Rebirth. Mm-hmm. I think the Knicks started the rebirth with the David Fizdale signing because it was pretty obvious that I forgot it. What was his name? Who was the coach before Fizdale? Was Hornacek.
Jeff Hornacek.
Hornacek was not a development coach at all, in my opinion. If he was, Frank would not be getting those minutes that he got last season. And I think that hiring Fizdale, Porzingis already likes Fizdale. He already said that previous. And he's just a player's coach. I think that's the best coach for this Knicks team right now, having so many young players. And I think another sign of our rebirth is you know how last year there were rumors about Knicks wanting Eric Bledsoe and other players around that trade deadline?
Right.
I feel like the old Knicks would have traded Frank for Eric Bledsoe.
You could be right.
And we would have traded some future draft picks. So that's another sign right there. And I'm going to say this. In 2019, I'm going to say this about Fizdale. One thing that does worry me, did you see the quote when he said we're going to have the money to do a lot in the offseason next year?
Yes.
I only want Kyrie or KD. Anyone else, if that's what the Knicks are saying right now, I don't want to go, say we don't get Kyrie or KD, I don't want to go out and give Kemba a max. I don't want to give Kemba a max just because we have the money. That would be terrible. That would slow down Frank.
And that would be 2000. That would be a 2010 move, right? Exactly.
Yeah, that would definitely be a 2010 move. And another thing, if Kyrie has another season like last year where he doesn't play.
I just want to speak on the culture thing.
If Kyrie has a season where he doesn't play 30, 35 games, that could be Stoudemire 2.0. I just don't want us to be.
Oh, no. I just want to make the point of the rebirth thing.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
And another thing.
We'll get to you, Guillermo.
Another thing about Fizdale, and we need to teach our players how to win before we teach them how to lose. I don't want the Knicks to go out and tank. I think
I'm with you
because if say we do get Kyrie, it's going to be time to win. I don't want to take out Kevin Knox this season just because we need to lose this game to get this draft pick or that draft pick. We need to teach them how to win now. So when we are in that situation, they don't know what to do when it's 5 seconds on the shot clock. They've never been in the position before. Okay. So I think that'll be another sign.
Yeah. Chris, let me get to Nate. Let me get to Nate and Mark. All right. Go on, I'm gonna come back to you. Let me get to Nate and Mark and see what they're thinking. Hopefully Mark is paying attention. You know what I mean? All right. So Mark.
Yo, Sim, what up, man?
Oh, man, you chilling? I see you got the still rocking the new Knicks shirt again.
Yeah, man. Gotta stay orange.
Okay. So tell me, man, what's your take on it? Are we in a rebirth, and is Alonzo Trier part of the future?
Yeah, but he like I was telling everybody with Trier, he has a lot to work on. Like Guamo was saying, his IQ, his style of play has to change a little bit because he looks to score all the time, and he's going to be more of a point guard because of his size. That's what they're going to try to make him into, a point guard. So he's going to have to learn how to distribute the ball. So like I said, it's better for him to be in the G League for this first half. And if we doing bad at the second half, we bring him up and let him play some real NBA minutes, get some NBA talent to see what he could possibly be.
So what happens if we trade Courtney Lee, or Courtney Lee's gone, we don't pick up, and we have a roster spot available?
But that goes, even if that roster spot is available, we have so many guards. If you look down the next, we have so many guards where you're gonna want Frank to eat up those minutes because that's the feature player who you want to see develop more than anybody else on the team to see what he actually is, because we don't know what he actually is. Like I said, I scratched off last season because he barely got to play. So basically, for me, this is like he got to pop his cherry again.
Okay. Only Mark.
Oh, wow.
Nate, man, what's on your mind, Nate? What's on your mind, Nate? Nate, can you hear me, Nate?
Oh man, how do I say something after that? So here's my 2 points on the Knicks rebirth and Trier. I think it is a rebirth because truly, if it was a rebuild, we wouldn't have KP, in my opinion. And the way I look at it is that, when we got KP, that was the start of the rebirth, because even with KP healthy, a lot of people expected that this team was far away from being a contender. We needed players to build around KP, and it was just unfortunate he got hurt, so we didn't see him full last year. But I think that now with adding Knox, Ntilikina developing more, Mitchell Robinson, bringing in Harazonia, I think now you're starting to see the mold of a team, and that's why I would call it the rebirth.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
Now, as far as Trier, honestly, yes, Trier is part of the plan, because if Trier wasn't part of the plan, they would not assign him to a G League contract or a 2-year deal, being undrafted.
He's on a 2-year deal? It's a 2-year deal? I thought it was just 1 year, $75,000.
I'm sorry.
He had a two-way deal.
He's got a 2-way deal.
It's a 2-way deal. It's a 2-way deal.
Two-way deal, yeah.
It's a 2-way deal. Okay, so I want to move on. So I want to ask you guys, what do you guys? Because we're talking about players that we drafted, and then of course there's people still talking about tanking. Chris brought up tanking, right?
I got something to say on that too.
The new rules. And I'm going to go over the new rules real fast. And Mark, you still live. You still can be heard live. So keep it cool, all right? The new rules have put a different structure, a slightly different structure, right? On the on the draft. The way it is now, I think it's the top 3 teams have a 14% chance of winning the draft, right? And then, of course, there's new rules put in place on players being sat. And I'm going to go over these rules right now. These are the new rules, since we're talking about tanking and people want to tank. These are the new rules, all right, coming into this year, the new draft rules. All right, so the way that it is right now, well, the way that it's going to be in 2019, teams 1, 2, and 3 have a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick. Team 4 has a 12.5% chance. Team 5 has a 10.5% chance. Team 6 is 9%. Team 7 is 7.5%. Team 8 is 6%. Team 9, 4.5%. Team 10, 3%. Team 11, 2%. And you can see the rest. Team 12, 1.5%. Team 13, 1%. And Team 14, 0.5%. So that's what they've done to try to keep this tanking thing out of the league. Right? To try to make teams play. Now, of course, you're going to have teams battling still to get into that top 5. It's going to happen. Right? But at least those teams that are really the bottom feeders, because, the worst 3 teams in the league, they're not going to be sitting and losing. They shouldn't be. I don't know. I guess to get to that point, they're going to lose. But then, they don't have to battle for that number 1 spot. I don't know how much it's going to impact tanking, though. All right. Now they have a new player resting policy. And, of course, this says also today, but this was last year. Teams are prohibited from resting healthy players for any high-profile nationally televised game. Any violation of this provision will constitute conduct prejudicial or detrimental to the NBA and result in a fine of at least $100,000. Absent unusual circumstances, a team should not rest multiple healthy players for the same game or rest healthy players when playing on the road. In situations when teams decide to rest healthy players, the players should be visible and available to interact with fans. So obviously and clearly, this is about the money, right? Especially when teams are on the road. If LeBron James plays for the Lakers now, when he goes to New York, fans only going to see LeBron James once per year. The NBA doesn't want LeBron to be hurt. They don't want LeBron to be sitting on the sideline. They want him in the game because people are paying their money to see LeBron play. Right? And if he's not, then they want him available to be able to sign autographs and so on and so forth. Any team that violates this policy or otherwise rests a player in circumstances that are prejudicial or detrimental to the league is subject to discipline by the NBA. The NBA's competition committee recommended the NBA draft lottery reform and the player vesting policy to the board of governors. So there's a reform. There's something new going on. Is it going to help? I don't know if it's going to help as much as maybe they think it's going to help. You're still going to have teams tanking to get into that top 5 or to get a top 5 draft pick. It's still going to happen. It's still going to happen. And I don't know what you can do. Is there anything that you can do to prevent teams from tanking? Teams found a loophole and they're using it. I don't know if it's the best usage of their players, in my opinion, or whatever you want to call it. It's not good to me. To me, it's not good for the league because you have 30 teams in the league, I think it is, right? 30 teams in the league. You only got 16 teams that make the playoffs. That means the other 14 teams are tanking, right? Most of them. Because what it is, what do people say? You'd rather be a bad team than a mediocre team. So you either want to be bad or contending for a championship. So that means all the teams in the middle are like, we might as well tank. Because most of the teams in the league, if that is the philosophy, if the philosophy is that you either want to be bad or contending for a championship, that means most of the teams in the league are in the middle. So that means if that's the philosophy that owners in the league take, general managers, so on and so forth, then you're going to have in the future 75% of the league trying to tank. That's crazy. And that'll ruin the league. Right now with the NFL, the NBA is the highest profile sport there is. And you don't want to ruin it. You know what I mean? Because if you ruin it, then nobody eats. And that's a problem. Call you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Sim, what's up, man? This is Steve from Hoboken.
Steve, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
Not much. I'm big timer on the chat.
Oh, okay. Good. That's what's up. Yeah. I don't when I'm actually doing it live, I don't always get a chance to dip into the chat. I try as much as I can to dip into the chat. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
anyway, I'm a big fan of the show, man. I've been kind of stumbled on your channel a few months back, and I've been pretty much watching every show every week now. So, but anyway, I just wanted to give a call. First off, I just want to say what's up to the chat. I love the chat. It's always great talk, great Knick talk. I mean, keeps me busy for a few hours, and I listen to you and the video chat. I mean, it's just a great show. But I'm calling because I love. I'm really high on this kid Trier, man. I'm from Jersey, but I moved out to Arizona a few years ago. I've had a chance to actually watch this kid play live, and I'm telling you, I mean, this kid's for real. I mean, if he didn't get suspended for PEDs, he was going to be a top pick, like a top 10 pick, a couple of years ago. The kid could definitely ball. He's 6'5" too, which I really like, and I just like how he attacks the rim. He could score, and he's not bad on defense either. And with the thing with the whole the ball hog, and he doesn't pass, and he definitely has that rep, from back in Arizona for sure. But I think Fizz is the absolute perfect coach to help him develop, and we kind of saw briefly, what he could do. I mean, Fizz gave him a chance to run the point. What was it, game 3 of the summer league? I mean, granted it's summer league, but when Ntilikina was hurt, he put Trier at the point. He dropped 21 points, 5 assists, and 10 boards. I mean, I just really like this kid. I think I'm going to put a bold prediction out, but I think at some point this season, I think he'll be starting for us.
Trier?
Yeah, I really do, man.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
I really do.
We'll see. We'll see. So then who is he starting over?
So, I mean, I'm probably going to get a lot of negativity for this, but I mean, I want to see Frank do well, of course. I like the kid. He's a great kid. He's an amazing defender. And I know he's young and he has a lot of room to develop, obviously.
Right.
But, just from what I've seen of him, I just don't know if I could really see him being a starter for us. I think he would be an amazing, 6-man or, just have that role off the bench where you're going to come in and you can lock him down on top scorer. But as far as like starting, I mean, I know this sounds crazy too, but I think Trier can run the point, and I know Burke's small, but Trier could play defense too. I mean, he's a two-way player. He's 6'5", and I know he's a scorer, but I really think Fizz could develop him into a point guard. I really do. I mean, he could pass, he could drive to the hoop and create, and he's just a really good scorer. I could just see Trier running the point. You could even put Burke at the 2. I know that's, you might think that's small, but
Well, I mean, you could put this, and this is what would happen, and then I'm gonna let you go after this. All right.
Yeah.
But this is what would happen in that scenario. You can put Trey Burke at the 2 on the offensive side of the floor. Still, on the defensive side of the floor, he's gonna guard the smallest person. But you can still play him at the 2 spot on the offensive side of the floor.
I agree, Sim. I mean, I agree. I don't know. I mean, he's got a lot of room to go, Trier. But I really like the kid. I think he's definitely a part of the future. I think we had the best draft in the NBA. I mean, Knox, Mitchell, Robinson, and Trier. I mean, those guys are just phenomenal. So, but I appreciate you taking my call, man. And
Appreciate it.
I'm going to continue watching on the YouTube.
All right. I appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
All right, Sam. You too, man.
All right. Later. Yeah. All right. Good take on Alonzo Trier. Good take. I'm not sure if he's going to be starting, but we'll see. It's possible. It could happen. But the new draft rules, I don't think it's going to stop tanking. It's kind of part of the NBA culture now. You know what I mean? So I'm going to come to you, Ant. I'm going to come to you. Haven't had a chance to hear from you yet. Ant G. Let me see if I can get you free here. Ant, what's up, man? What's popping?
What's up, Sam? How's it going, man? Shout out to the chat.
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
So, what's your take on these new draft rules? Does it mean does it mean anything
I like
at
it.
all?
I like it. I mean, because when you see when you saw teams like Chicago, like they were trash to begin with, and they're resting their trash players. Like it was beyond reprehensible. It was just terrible. And it made me upset because we didn't have the kind of trash players they had. So we couldn't be as bad as they were. And it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Not fair.
So
I think
go ahead. So you but do you think that this is going to change anything?
Not much. I don't think so. I think teams are always gonna find a way to game the system. I don't think it'll change too much, but I mean, it's a step in the right direction. I like the idea of like not rewarding intentional tanking. I do think the bad teams in the league need to be rewarded with high draft picks to keep the balance.
Right.
But I think they need to, I don't think teams should be rewarded for trying to lose. Like, I don't think that's good for anybody.
Right.
So
I agree with you. What's your take on Trier?
I think if Trier gets any significant rotation minutes and something is going really wrong with all the guards we have on the team right now, with Tim and Emmanuel Mudiay and Trey Burke and Frank, Ron Baker and Damian Dotson, I mean, it's a lot of guys he has to get through to get any rotation minutes. I don't see him really coming up to the big team unless we're just absolutely terrible or until the year after next. So
okay.
But I like Trier a little bit. He could be like a Lou Williams type, but I'm not a big fan. I could see him being like chasing Randall, sort of like not really sticking, coming up having a couple good games but not sticking. I mean, I don't see a great NBA player in Alonzo Trier.
He was a guy that at one point in his high school career was ranked, very high in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was ranked very high in the nation. So and of course that's the reason why the Knicks took a flyer on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let me get to this call right quick, and I'm gonna come back to you. All right.
Facts.
All right. Call you on live with nothing but Knicks. What's popping?
Man.
What's going on with you, bro? What's up with
you? Sim, man, you tell me, man. Hey, we just far in the season, off season. We still talking about our Knicks. What that tell you, man?
Yeah.
If this is a rebirth, it is a rebirth. Period. When have we been talking about the Knicks this time of the year? We've been a laughing stock, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you this, man. I mean, yeah, it's great. You know, we have 300 and something people on here talking about the New York Knicks right now, and it's in the, you know, the end of August. But, you know, we're coming up on the season. You know what I mean? So things are going to start getting hot and heavy. I can't wait either, man. I can't wait either. Are we going to see you? Are we going to see you at the season opener with us?
Man, hey, what day is the season opener?
Season opener is October 17th.
Colorado tomorrow. I mean, we're actually next Thursday, my son's first game of the season. You know, football. So when is the first game?
The first game is October 17th.
October 17th. Man, that's 5 days before my birthday.
Okay.
Man. Why not?
So
who we got the first game?
Because look, the first game we played the Atlanta Hawks. Right? And we got a package going on.
We play them bums.
We got a package going on, right? $205.
Mm-hmm.
You can get one or two packages. One is $205, one is $220. The one that's $220, you get a Nothing But Knicks shirt, T-shirt. All right, but it's $205. You get, of course, you get to see the game. You get to you'll be in a lounge with food and beverages. You'll get to watch pregame warm-ups, courtside pregame warm-ups, and then you'll have a tour of Madison Square Garden. The whole thing is going to go from like 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's going to be fun. I hope we see you there, Ron. I want to see you there,
Sam,
man.
Hey, Sam, I'm going to do my best to get there, man.
Hey,
I can't make no promises, man. Hey,
I hear you, though.
But I'm going to tell you this, man. Hey, that is something Johnson. And I'm telling you, man, hey, for all my Knicks lovers in the chat and all, man, hey, I'm going to tell you, man, I've never been to a Knicks game at Madison. I went and watched this in Atlanta because I live in South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Okay. And I'm going to give y'all a quick little story right quick, man, to let y'all know where my fandom is.
Okay.
I was at the Atlanta game.
You're not selling your fandom, are you? You're not selling it, right?
Man, that fool ain't no fan. That fool ain't no fan. That fool ain't no fan. Sim, listen to this, man. We were at the Atlanta game when we still had Stephon Marbury.
Uh-huh.
And so we were there early. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted the experience. Never been to a pro basketball game, you know what I mean? Period. This is my Knicks. I was like, okay, hey, I'm going to Atlanta to watch them. We get in the stadium. The guy coming there was somebody that worked for Atlanta.
Okay.
They offered me and my wife seats on the floor. This when they had just got Josh Smith. And they were like, okay, we got these seats. We're going to move y'all down because they didn't have a lot of people in the stadium. And I told the guy? I told him, Sam, I said, hey, man, I said, I'm going to have to be truthful with you, man. I'm a Knicks fan. Mm-hmm. I'm not going down there. I'm not going to cheer for the Atlanta Hawks. I relinquished them seats, and I stayed in the section I was at because I was not going to cheer for Atlanta. You feel me?
I feel you.
So a lot of people might say, hey, oh, man, not to cheer for no other team. Not to even get the illusion that I'm cheering for another team. Because I know when I got down there and I saw Stephon Marbury busting them, which he did that night.
Uh-huh.
You went for like 30. They won it in overtime. I would have been up there cheering. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, hey, man, give that ticket to an Atlanta Hawk fan. I'm not an Atlanta Hawk fan.
I got you.
So,
man.
So when I'm hearing what you're telling me right now, man, Sam,
hey,
I'm gonna do my best to get there, man.
Okay,
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna do my best to get there.
If
when I get there, I'm gonna have to let y'all know I'm in the building. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get me a shirt made to say "Man." All orange and blue. know who it is.
All right, I'm with it.
Who it is?
Well, if you can't get there, Ron, if you can't get there, then you can join us on a live stream, man. So,
man, I'm gonna
yeah.
Me and the missus have had conversations, man. She already know how I feel about the Knicks. You know what I mean? I got to be there, man.
Okay.
I've been to Atlanta, but it ain't gonna be nothing like watching them boys play in our stadium, man.
That's right. That's
not
right.
on no visitor stadium. It's a whole different experience, and I see that even watching my son play at the Air Force is a different experience playing at their home stadium than playing on the road.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, Ron, man, I'm gonna let you rock things. I know I got some people trying to call in. All right. I appreciate you calling, and I hope to see you there.
Man,
but if we don't
be back, man, and don't worry about David Fizdale talking. And I'll leave this with you, man. David Fizdale give me the feeling of Jeff Van Gundy, man.
All right, that's what's up.
That's Jeff Van Gundy Jr., man.
Yeah. All right, man. All right, peace, man. I'll talk to you later, Ron. Later. Yeah. Fans. Let's talk about these fake fans out here. You guys already know what I'm talking about. Fake fans. There's a lot of fake fans. And I just seen somebody ask a question that said, when is the deadline to purchase the tickets? And I should have told you when the deadline is. You need to purchase your ticket in full by September 21st. So if you're going to purchase your ticket to go to the game, purchase your ticket in full by September 21st. All right. Fake fans, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. We got this guy. What's his name? I forgot his name. I'm going to bring it up right now. But who's selling his fandom on eBay. One, I don't know. I mean, when you become a fan of a team, I don't get it. I don't understand it, because when you become a fan of a team, it's like you have an unconditional love for that team. How can you really say you're going to sell it and support another team? Because if you are truly, truly a fan of that team, when the time comes around, you're going to support that team. When that team starts winning again, you're going to want back in. Right? You're always going to pay attention to that team. You know what I mean? And let me tell you what, this dude, when the Knicks start winning, he better not come back. And I hope somebody buys it and tells him he's got to like some team over in China or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? But you guys know who he is. And I heard about this, of course, before Yahoo Sports put out their, did an article today. But they had an article today about the guy, Dan Devine, however you say his name. He had a chat with the infuriated Knicks fan, selling his fandom on the eve of kissing the Knicks goodbye. It's just ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? I said the guy's name. I really don't want to say his name because he's getting a lot of publicity because people are obviously saying his name and tweeting him and all this kind of stuff, and he's catching a lot of hate, and he owns some kind of company that's probably getting publicity. You know what I'm saying? Probably getting publicity from it. But how is it that all these type of Knicks fans get so much publicity? You got the crying kid. Now you got the kid you got the guy selling his fandom. Right? You got all these kind of people getting publicity over negative things about the Knicks. And we all know the history of the Knicks and what's been going on the last decade and a half with the Knicks. You know what I mean? But it's just as much the media's fault as it is anyone's else. Not that the Knicks are losing, but about these type of people being publicized. It's the media, of course. I guess I'm part of it because I'm talking about them. I wish I could get him on here just so we can bash him. That would be hilarious. I doubt that he'd come on. I should ask him, though. He is on Twitter. I should send him a tweet and ask him if he'd come on the show. And then when he got on the show, we can just bash him. We could just kill him. He might already be watching. He might be watching right now. If you're watching right now, you're a punk. You're a punk. You know what I mean? You go ahead with yourself. That's all I really got to say about the guy. You know what I mean? I'm not cool with all that. But I am gonna ask him if he can get on the show. He probably won't now because he'll go back and look at this show and he'll see what I said about him and he'll see that we're planning on blasting him and he'll say no. But I'm gonna ask him anyway. You know what I mean? I'm gonna ask him anyway and see what he has to say. All right. So I want to talk to the chat. I want to see what you guys think about this guy. And have any of you thought about not being a Knicks fan because the team is so bad? Have you thought about it? And I think the perfect guy to answer this question is Mark. You know what I mean? Because I know how Mark feels about the Knicks. Mark, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, yo, you know what's so funny? It's so funny. I had a feeling he's gonna come to me.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like with the fake fans, I hope we don't get those type of fake fans that LeBron had in Miami and they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, you know, they're gonna come. They're coming. Yeah. You know that they're coming.
Yeah,
those fake fans are coming.
Cause you know what it is? It's like people outside of New York are just like most people in general. They think it's like they think it's cool, or they seem cool to talk down on the Knicks, like that would make you any much funnier. Like, but no, it's not. It's not funny anymore. It is what it is. The Knicks has been terrible for years, but you know, this year, and you know, if we continue doing what we're doing, we could become something. But the people and they jokes about the Knicks, like, oh, they suck, they management. All right, it's tiring now. Like it's nothing new. Like it's nothing new. I could understand if it was new, but it ain't nothing new.
Right. You know, and you know, the media giving all these people, giving so much publicity to all these people that do negative things.
Yeah, it's the media. It's the media too. Because when you watch like ESPN and stuff, and they have a chance to talk about the Knicks, they just start getting all giggly and happy just to talk about the Knicks, because most of the time, those media personalities don't have no personality outside their home. They remind me of kids that was never cool in school, and they finally got some airtime, so they think they cool now.
Yeah.
That's why I say when the Knicks come back to glory of some sort, you're gonna see it. It's gonna spread like wildfire, because guess what? The league wants the Knicks to be as great as what Golden State is. Because we are part of the NBA's history. We are one of the main hogs of what the NBA wants us to be.
Right. Exactly. Let me get this call, Mark. I haven't had a call in a while.
All right, go ahead.
In a minute. Let me get this call.
Come back to me after the call. I want to say something too. Also,
right. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's up, Big Simeon? Boy, Carl, man. What's going on?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing, Carl?
I'm good, fam. I'm good, man. I'm listening to the show, man. Another great show, man. You talking about the fans, man. You know, it's one of those things when you a Knicks fan, you got to be built for this, man. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? You got to be really built for it. You know, and also too, because I live in Florida, so all these fake Miami Heat fans down here, man. They talk and they run their mouths and everything about the Knicks, and they wasn't even real, you know, Miami Heat fans to begin with. So you can just imagine what I have to go through down here, man. You know?
Right. I can imagine. And I'm just hoping that those they're gonna come. You know they're gonna come when the Knicks get good. You're gonna all of a sudden there's gonna be Knicks fans that pop up all over the place. But I don't want them. You know what I'm saying?
This is true, man. We don't need them. We don't need them, man. You know, and you know what? Also, too, Simeon, being a Knicks fan has been a learning experience, and this is what I mean by that. You get an understanding of what it really takes, man, to have a good team, man, and what it, you know, the chemistry, having great players, good management, you know, coach, a chemistry between the players, you know, and you know. Everybody just clicking and coming together, you know. All this has been a learning experience, you know.
Right.
You know, so
You know, we're gonna have a good season, man. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. It's gonna be a good season for us. You know, we got one heck of a coach, so we'll see what happens. You know,
we'll see what happens, man. I think we're gonna have a good season. You know, the rebirth is here, and then with this rebirth, we're gonna have some chump fans come in here, but I guess we're gonna have to deal with it. You know what I mean? We'll be good, though. Man. We'll be good. We'll be good. We'll be good. Hey, man, Carl, give me your thoughts on Alonzo Trier.
I like him. I like what I saw during the what you call it, during the workouts and everything. He looks like he's going to be all right, man. You know, he looks like he's going to do something. I would have him really, because there was talks about him going to the D League and everything. I don't think so. I don't think he'll be there. I think he'll be on the squad. What you think, Simeon?
Well, he's definitely going to the G League because he's one of the two-way players. So he's definitely going to be in the G League. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He'll be back and forth between. At some point, he'll probably play some games in the big league, but he's going to be going back and forth between the G League and the NBA.
You think that's a good thing, though? You think that's a good thing? Because I would think that would be better for him just to to get on that court, play around those
I don't know. I guess it worked for Trey Burke.
That's true.
Year. Yeah, it worked for Burke last year. So, we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what happens with it. Hey, Carl, man, I appreciate the call. I know I've been seeing a couple other people trying to call in, so I'm gonna try to get to them.
No doubt, Simeon, man. I might be able to get them tickets, man.
I appreciate it. Hope to see you there, man. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. We got we've sold a couple already, so it's starting to they starting to roll. So
yeah. You said the deadlines were September, right?
September 21st. Yep, September 21st.
Okay, got you.
All right, man.
No doubt.
All right, peace, man. Peace.
All right, man. No
Later.
doubt.
Yeah, fake fans. We don't want them. Keep them out of here. Let me see. Who do I want to talk? I'm going to come to Viv. Viv, I'm coming to you, man. First, Viv, what are they talking about in the chat? Right. That's what I want to know. What's going on with the chat? Who's having a good conversation right now in the chat?
Oh, man, everybody got a good conversation going on.
So what's the topic? What's the topic right now in the video chat?
They're going into a little bit of football stuff, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll just
got my LT jersey on tonight. Yes, sir.
I see it. LT jersey. It's nice and fresh. Looks like
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So what's your take on that fan? And I'm not gonna say this too much longer. I'm gonna, I just want to get your take on that fan, and then we can move on to something else.
Someone told me this, I think on Twitter, like, why am I giving this guy any sort of attention? Just mentioning him. It's just like, yeah, you got a point. Like, why am I even talking about this fan? But at the same time, it's like, we have to talk about it because they put the story on Yahoo and they got this guy like interviewing him. I'm like, why are you giving this guy attention? All he is looking for is attention. Clearly, all he wanted, if you look at his Twitter handle or look at his Twitter feed, everything he's mentioning is, I got like more than a week of, fame with this.
Right.
He's just an attention-seeking, 33-year-old, whatever old he is, guy who just seems like, I just need some sort of attention. I don't know if he was a real fan. I mean, he could just be like a transplant. I don't know.
He could be.
Whatever it is, clearly.
He said he's
whatever it is. If he wants to do that, honestly, there's a team in Brooklyn that really needs some fans. They like transplants out there.
Exactly.
And they really are from New Jersey too. So maybe there's a commonality between him and them. So he can go join them.
Yeah,
that's all I care about.
Get him out here and just roast him. We need to just get him out here and roast him and just.
I would do it too, but he's just gonna hang up on us, and he's just he'll be running and doing some subliminal tweets and stuff.
Yeah,
unless you just roast him on Twitter, and then he might just like cave, and I don't know what will happen to.
Yeah,
but I don't think he'd last more than 5 seconds on this chat.
Yeah, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I am gonna tweet him, and I want you to retweet him and retweet him and retweet him. So we can get him out here and just roast him.
Well, I'll do that.
Get him on here.
I'll spread that word if I can.
Yeah, let me see. Who am I gonna come to? Guillermo, I'm gonna talk to you, man.
I'm about to rant off on these fake fans, man. Okay, I despise them with all my heart, man. I hate every fake fan. I hate what this New York has become, man. Like all these transplants, these fake hipsters, these trust fund hipsters who act like they're really into sports. Let me tell you something, man. I'm a diehard Jets fan, man. Y'all can talk whatever trash y'all want, whatever, man. I sit here, I watch teams back in the day. I was there when Boom Esiason came, and I think we won one game with Rich Kotite, bro. Like, I'm a diehard Jets fan, man. When 2009 came, when Rex Ryan came and he brought that blitzing defense, and we surprised the league, man. 9-7 record, snuck in, beat the Bengals in the playoffs. Yo, you never saw so many fair weather fans who came from outside of New York and fair weather fans who are, I don't know about football. Yo, I hate all of them. All of them could go, excuse my language, all of them could go to hell, man, because you got a lot of fans here. We sit here, we toil. Yo, I'm serious. New York fans, honestly, when it comes to outside of soccer, because I'm a Manchester United fan, outside of soccer, New York Knicks fans are probably the most well-read, most knowledgeable in terms of what's going around with their team that I've ever seen. And the thing that really hurts me is there's two things, right? One thing is that when I go to these games, right, I'm fortunate to go to games. I have a former coworker who's my boy. He would give me tickets like when he can't go, right? When I go there, right, and I watch who's there at these games, it is some of the fakest fans you've ever seen. These guys will leave in the fourth quarter if we're down by 10. These guys come there with their business suits. They don't even know what team. They're just there to take an Instagram pic. Not everybody Knicks. A lot of the true Knicks fans, they're all the way in the back, whatever, but on the front court or in the seats, whatever. A lot of fake fans, man. It hurts that I can't see real fans in the seats. And another thing that we don't have, and I'm not saying we should resort to violence. I'm not saying that. We don't have ultras, man. You go to soccer, go watch a Serie A game in Italy, man. You cannot be a fair weather fan talking about, I'm going to sell my fandom to blah, blah, blah. Them ultras are going to get at you, bro. They're going to be like, no. We don't. They will shame you, man. We don't have that fervor in the city, man. We don't have that fervor in basketball, period. And another thing that messes it up is that we have all these free agents going here and there. We don't have guys who are going to be with the Knicks or be with this team, be with that team for 10, 15 years. Be like, nah, this is my team. We're going to try to go to championship. We don't. I live and die with this team, man. Got a lot of it's the dynamic how we run the NBA. It's just not conducive to us having that feudal kind of Japan, like, yo, this is my team and I'm not messing with the type of team mentality, man. But this fake fan, man, people need to call them out. The news media, whatever, you need to call them out. How you gonna see and talk about I'll buy my fandom? I'm telling you, this bro, he's a trust fund hipster probably from like Kentucky or Wyoming. He's trying to find his little music career in Williamsburg or whatever. We need to get rid of him. We need to shame him, man. The Knicks fans that have been here since day one, dying and toiling, these are the guys who need to be out there on the front line being praised as like, yo, you're the diehard Knicks fan. Not this clown who's just looking for something to do, man. So to me, I hate all these fake fans, man. I'm totally against it. And I wish that we could have some type of ultras type of group like in soccer where we just eradicate these fake fans. Trust, it's disgusting, man. Like, get that crap out of here, man. This New York, man, we've been here for years, bro. We sit here and watch Patrick Ewing miss layups. We sit here and watch the 94 finals, man. Game 7, we should have won, man. John Starks shooting 214. And you're going to tell me some out-of-town hipster's going to come in and be on the same level as me or any other dudes in the chat room, man? Nah, out of that crap.
Hey. Let me get to this call. Woo, Gormo said we need to eradicate. That is a radical word. He said eradicate them. That's a tough word right there. That's a tough word. What's popping, man? What's going on, Caller? You are on live right now.
Hi, I'm CJ from Winston-Salem.
From Winston-Salem, okay. What's going on, CJ?
Hey, no, I'm just listening to everybody in the chat and everything, and I just think, personally, that the Knicks are in a great direction. I think that we're just sitting there. We got great players. We got a great young team. Mm-hmm. And we should just sit pat, let it go.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. What do you think about these fake fans?
Let's see the first half of the season,
Okay.
You got Trey Burke going, he could go for 18 a game.
Uh-huh.
Cantor, everybody sleeps on Cantor. Cantor's a monster, last I heard. Okay. Cantor will go for 18 and 12 every game if you just give him the ball.
Yo, we can't have 300 pound guys on the team, man.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, man. What do you think about this guy who's selling his fandom? These fake New York Knicks fans, or just fake fans. What do you think?
No, there's so many. When you live away from New York, you know you're in Maryland. You see so many fake New York fans like, oh man, I'm from New York. I love the Knicks, but they're wearing Cleveland jerseys, Cleveland hats. They're rocking. When you have a conversation, it's LeBron's the greatest. I mean, I'm with the Knicks. Even when the Knicks are down, when they're 10 games out of the playoff hunt, I'm looking at every game like, oh man, we got this game. We got this game. I can't stand these fake fans.
Okay.
This guy's a bum.
He's
not even a fan. He's just trying to get publicity. This is the time we live in.
Yeah, it is. It's the social media era. My boy Noriega, N-O-R-E. If you guys listen to his new album 5E, it has a song on there called No Reasons. It's dope too. It's pretty dope when he's talking about this social media era. Hey man, I appreciate the call, man. I'm gonna let you rock. Thank you for the call.
No, thank you, and thank you, chat. I've been trying to call in for a month, more than a month, and finally got in. So guys in the chat, just keep at it. You'll get in.
Yeah. I'm glad you got in, man. I'm glad you got in. Call back.
Thank
You'll
you.
get in. Appreciate it. Peace. Yep, it's the social media era, my man Noriega, man. That's a dope song. You guys need to check it out. His album is you got a decent album. You know what I'm saying? Another caller. Call you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, Sam's, what's going? Peace to that. This is Rob the Knicks, North Carolina.
What's going on with you, man?
And, ain't nothing much.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
These fake New York Knicks fans.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, man. What's your name again?
Rob the Knicks from North Carolina.
Okay. There's a lot of Knicks fans in North Carolina. We get a lot of people from North Carolina. We get a lot of people from the South call up and they're Knicks fans. Now, some people transplanted from New York to, now live in North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah, that's me.
Wherever, right? Do you find a lot of Knicks fans down there?
Oh man, we find them, we recruit them. It's easy to get them down here because they have to look at the Hornets all the time. So we put them up on the New York flavor.
Yeah,
next thing you know, they become fans, and we got them.
Right.
So but down here it seems like, because I just got back from the city, back from the little reunion from my high school, and a lot of people that were Knicks fans, we blasted them at the reunion because they be changing, but they be blaming it on like people like Dolan. Like, how the media get on Dolan, and then all of a sudden, they get down on the team, and then they don't know who to blame, so they blaming ownership, and they don't look at the team itself. Like the way it was when we had Ewing in them in the beginning, how we was yelling out the project window and doing things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They lose all of the love for the team.
Right.
And it's things like, the media got a lot to do with it, I think, because that's all they was talking about. Well, we reading the paper, this is going on, that's going on. And then, they raising their kids. Next thing you know, they just looking for winning.
Yeah.
So, we screamed all on them at the reunion, though. But
well, that's good.
I got a way to fix the tanking thing.
Okay.
And you tell me if this will work.
Okay.
You take the top 5 teams,
mm-hmm.
and if you get in between the top 1 and 5 that year, for the next 3 years, you can't get in between the 1 or the 5 pick. So if you tank that next year, you're not going to get a top pick. You're going to have to start from 6 to 12. That's where you're starting. So anybody, if you get that pick in that top 5 and you think you're going to do it next year, or you're not going to get no pick, you're going to fall up there. You'll be having a lottery between the 6th and the 12th pick. And then whoever the other teams are that take your place, they just move down automatically. And that should have something to do with the tanking. Then teams will know, put a team together, pick better. Because that's what it's be bad drafting. Because Philly, to me, they drafted, in the beginning they drafted bad. They had a bunch of hurt players, and they turned it around. But really, down the line, that same thing is going to hurt them. because they don't have a healthy young team. They got a young team, but they don't have a healthy young team.
Yeah.
Because if you're getting injuries this early, later on it's just going to be more problems. So, I'm not with that tanking. I'm with the direction that we're going in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to do. And as far as Trey is concerned, I think that watched him in the D League. I mean, in the summer league, he seems like he can be a 2. Now, if Hardaway don't get his stuff together and that boy can shoot, I seen him in Arizona last year. Watched him on TV, and he gave it to Ball 2 years ago. He gave it to Ball. He gave Ball the business. So, as far as a point guard, he's 6'5". I didn't even think he was 6'5". But if he's 6'5", he can play the 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might have to come off the bench, might be ready in about a year or two, not right now. But, he looks in the future. He looks like he can be in the future, though. But, nothing special right now. But with good development, I think he can be something. And as far as Fizdale is concerned, he has to show me something. Now, I love the hype, how everybody and LeBron like him, Wade like him. That means nothing to me.
Yeah.
When you get up there and you show me what you're going to do with these boys, talk is cheap. We done heard a whole lot of talking from a whole lot of different coaches and what they was going to do. And then when you get here, the media start setting that fire up under you, and then everything changed, and then they running you out of town. Yeah. Hopefully it's not that with him. He's going to develop players, but I don't trust nobody. I like the New York Knicks, the players, the team, and they always been my heart. Coaches come and go, but the Knicks stay with me. So if he's going to come in and he's going to do exactly what he says he's going to do, it's going to be growing pains. I'm not trying to throw him out there early, but yeah.
Okay.
Look, The draft is over, summer league over. Be quiet. Let's wait for the season to start and put this plan together.
Well,
and I'm with that.
Yeah. Hey, man, I thank you for the call. Hey, that's a very interesting take that you had on the draft. I like that. Matter of fact, I might tweet that to the NBA. Say, hey, you guys need to take a look at this, because that's a very interesting take. And that's something that, some variation of that, I'm sure they'd have to work some things out, could help solve that tanking problem. But hey, I'm going to let you rock, man. I thank you for the call.
All right. I'll see you on Sunday. Hear from you on Sunday.
All
be right back.
I'll be here.
All right. Peace to the
peace.
All right. Peace.
Very, very interesting take. I like that. NBA, I want you guys to listen to that, because that sounds smart. Sounds pretty smart. Dunk contest. So we hear that Mitchell Robinson, I don't know if he said he'd like to enter the dunk contest. He said he wants to be in a dunk contest. I'm assuming that he's talking about the NBA. Kevin Knox, I think, said something about the dunk contest. I'd like to see both of them in the dunk contest. When's the last time we had 2 Knicks in the dunk contest? I don't know if we ever had 2 Knicks in the dunk contest. Maybe we did. Maybe Gerald Wilkinson and Kenny Skywalker, were they in the dunk contest together? I don't remember. Not sure. The last winner of the dunk contest for the Knicks was Nate Robinson, of course. I'd like to see them both in the dunk contest. I'd like to see them participating in All-Star Weekend anyway. I think they'll both be participating in the All-Rookie game. In the rookie game, whatever they call it now. I think they'll both be participating in that. Isaiah, I see, you hear, I'm coming to you, man. I'm coming to you. Isaiah, what's going on, man? What do you think? You think Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox will be invited to the dunk contest? Hey, I need you to put that mic a little bit closer to your mouth. I can't hear you that good. You're breaking up a little bit.
No, I said, I can't hear. I got headphones on, bro. I can't. Nah. Saying, now, Mark, why can't I get you? But what I'm saying was, I think Kevin Knox down.
I think, hey, Isaiah, I think you need to put
plays enough. He'll get invited. But I don't.
Isaiah, I think you need to take the mic and put it closer to your mouth. because I can't hear you. You're breaking up on me. So I'm gonna go to the Prince. Prince, man, what do you think? Prince, man, what do you think, Prince? The Prince, can you hear me? I don't think Prince can hear me right now. So they kind of lost in their own conversation. So what do you guys think? Since the chat can't hear me, the chat's not paying attention. I think Aunt G is, though. Aunt, what do you think,
paying attention.
Aunt, what do you think, though, man? You think Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, one or both will be invited to the slam dunk contest?
Kevin Knox, nah, I hope he doesn't go. He's not gonna win. But Mitchell Robinson has the potential to do some crazy dunks, and I would love to see that.
Okay. Yeah, he does. He has the potential.
I would love to see that.
I seen him try to dunk from the free throw line. He didn't get it.
Yeah, like his length and his leaping ability, and like I think that'd be fun to watch. I think that'd give him some confidence too, you know.
Yeah. Do you think we could see Kevin Knox in the skills?
Kevin Knox in the skills challenge. I gotta see his handle. I don't know if his handle will warrant it, but I think I heard Isaiah just say Frank Ntilikina I could see in the skills competition.
Yeah. I was surprised Frank wasn't in the skills competition last year. I think if he would have gotten more playing time, I think he would have been in the skills competition.
I like Frank in the skills competition. I do.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think he can be in the skills competition. I see someone in the chat says Knox in the 3-point contest. I'm not sure about that. I know we seen the one game where he was hot and he was knocking it down, but I don't know if he's consistently that kind of a shooter though.
I just want to see Knox in the rookie-sophomore game get MVP. That's what I want to see. Okay. The Rising Stars game.
All right. Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
I'd love to see that. All right, so what? We got Isaiah waving his hand. All right, let's see. You good now, Isaiah? What's up?
Yo.
You're still breaking up. You still breaking up, man. I don't know what it is. You're still breaking up. So let's see.
Who was talking junk, man? What did Mark?
Hello?
What did Mark say about me? I need to know this. Who was talking junk?
I don't know. Hold up, man. So Mark.
Kevin Knox ain't no dunker, man. He's a finesse ball player.
Okay. He is.
He is a dunker, but he's not a crazy dunker.
He's a power dunker. From the dunks that I see.
What's so funny, Vivek?
Power dunker.
I didn't catch the joke.
Kevin Knox is an in-game dunker. He's not a...
Yeah. He's in-game dunker.
Isaiah looking for more snacks on the floor. Trying to get him before the rats do.
Hey, Mark, man. You talking to us or you talking to Isaiah? What's up? I don't think Mark can hear us, Aunt. Mark is always gone. He's always gone.
Hold on, Sam.
See, Mark is never there. We was talking to Mark because it sounded like he was talking to us, but then he wasn't talking back to us.
Yo, Sam.
What's up, Mark? I'm talking to you now.
All right. Yeah, Kevin Knox ain't no dunker. He's a finesse basketball player.
He said the second time. He's still wrong, man. He's a dunker. He's just not a dunk contest dunker.
Right. I agree with that. He's not a dunk contest dunker. He's a power dunker. From what I've seen.
Yeah, I don't even think he's not an above the rim player like that. Like he's not. He's more a finesse guy. He's more of a gonna lay you up in the paint. He'll dunk from time to time, but he don't look to dunk. He's more finesse when you watch him. Okay. He moves smooth. I don't see that dunking aspect in his game.
I mean, he's the one who brought it up.
Who brought it up?
Kevin Knox.
What, Ant brought up Kevin Knox being a dunker?
He brought up himself about wanting to be possibly in a dunk contest.
If you want to be in a dunk contest, go ahead. Like I'm not, stopping your girl for what you want to do. Yeah, go ahead. But I don't. Yeah, but I don't. Like, the only thing I want from Kevin Knox is just to be efficient, and just play on the media in his head. Just be great this year. Try to be as great as possible.
Okay, he'll definitely be in the Rise of Stars.
Let me ask you a question now.
Be in the Rise of Stars.
30.
All right, go ahead.
That deal that you got with the Knicks, you have to have 40 people to actually get the.
Yeah.
To get it.
40 people in order for it to happen. Yeah.
Why so much?
Huh?
Why so much people?
Because we get a lounge, and that lounge can fit 40 people in that lounge, right? And so to pay for the price of that lounge,
it's about $8,000.
You need everybody's money together to pay for the price of the lounge. And then they gave us a good deal with all those.
Ain't they in that new arena?
All right,
ain't that new arena,
this is
right?
for the chat, and I'm out. There's 300 people in this chat. Listen, let's make this happen, man. Let's make that night a magical night on the first night of the Knicks, watching our players play. Don't be cheap. It's $200 one time for a great time. Being in the, especially, I never been in the box.
I don't like going to NBA games. I like going to college games. I like that.
Find $2 somewhere. You got to steal it from your moms or your pops, just do it. You got to steal your mom's credit card, just do it to have one good night. Let's make it happen for Sim, man. Because I think that night's going to be magical, man.
Hey, that night is not for me. That night's for all of us, man. I'm trying to,
Wait, and we get to be on the floor before the game start?
Yep, that's what I spoke to the dude. Man, and I spoke to the dude earlier today, and he said, he said, not during warm-ups, but like the pre-warm-ups when they're just
like before the game, before like the game start, like before the game start, we're gonna be in there early.
Exactly. So we'll be getting there like 5 o'clock. We'll get there like 5 o'clock.
And we low-key can meet players? What?
We'll get a tour of Madison Square Garden. Then he said we'll do pregame. We'll get to do the pregame warm-up.
Listen, if I'm telling the chat right now, if Sim don't get 40 of y'all people, y'all wanksters. And I'm dissing every one of y'all in the chat every night until he has 40 people.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Don't be selfish, y'all.
He might not have the 200. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be mad if people can't do it. But hopefully we get the 40 people, and those who can't do it, they can join us on the live stream. But we're gonna have a good time that night.
I believe people could do it. They just shy and scared. A lot of people scared on the internet too. That's another thing about the internet. A lot of people are shy and scared. But for y'all shy and scared people, just do it, man. Ain't nobody gonna bite y'all. Come out and ball out. And come enjoy yourselves.
Got you. Nate, what's going on, man? I see you waving your hand trying to get in. What's popping with you, bro?
What's going on, Tim?
What's going on, man? What's up with you?
Hey, man. I just want to chime in on this debate. I'd love to see Mitchell Robinson. I'd love to see Mitchell Robinson in the dunk contest because, when I saw him in Summer League, this guy's got mad ops. He was blocking jump shots. Shoot. You don't see that very often from a center. So,
right. You don't see it very. Now, the one thing I will say that I was surprised about is when I seen him try to dunk from the free throw line, he didn't quite make it. Now, maybe he needs a little bit of practice. Whatever it is.
Yeah, this guy's got world talent. A lot of people say he could be Anthony Davis mold in some aspects. I can see it. He's got ability. You got to remember this guy didn't play a whole year, and he didn't look like that a lot of times on the court. He looked like a guy that was playing hard and play with a lot of effort. You know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well. Hopefully. Yeah. You know what? We'll see. We'll see if he gets in there. A lot of times in the NBA goes, things that are happening throughout the season, if they see a guy that's dunking and doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think just to see the Knicks back in the All-Star talk and, whether it's the All-Star game, whether it's a rookie sophomore game, whether it's skills challenge, it'd be good to see that the Knicks are doing something right, having those players develop and get into the limelight they deserve. So.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? We're down to the end of the show, Nate. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into these last words, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we're down to the end of the show. And we didn't talk about a whole lot tonight, but we talked about some stuff. So I'm going to start with you, Nate, since you're already up here. All right. I'm going to start with you.
Well, I appreciate it. Sim, as always, keep doing what you're doing, man. Love the show. We talked about a lot of stuff. I will say this about Trier. I don't know if you heard Fizdale say this about Trier earlier, but he compared him to like a Lou Williams, like a mold of a young Lou Williams. Yeah. And I can see that. And, if they want to make him a point guard, that's fine. Lou Williams is a point guard, but he scores. Mm-hmm. But the guy's got to get better defense because once in the Summer League, once Frank went out, that guy got torched. We gave up like almost 120 points a game. the last couple of games after Frank got hurt. So,
right.
I mean, he's got to play better defense, I think, to be on the court. But the guy's got some potential. I mean, like I said, you don't bring a guy on a G League contract that's undrafted if you don't really see some potential, because, they could have gave it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And, I think he kind of proved the most in that summer league.
Yeah, and he you could definitely see it when Frank was gone. You know what I mean? You could see it for sure.
Yeah, his game definitely slowed down. I think he tried to rush his shots a lot in the first couple of games with Frank, and then after Frank went down, he realized that he had a chance to step up and show his game, and I think he kind of slowed down a little bit and worked more on passing the ball and running the offense. And so I think that's why they said, well, hey, let's give this guy an opportunity to play in the G League, but also, too, we can bring him up if needed, because the Knicks have had really good success bringing these players up. And so maybe he could be the next Trey Burke. Who knows?
Yeah, okay. All right. Hey, Nate, appreciate it, man. All right.
All right, shout out to the chat. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all Sunday.
All right, Sunday night.
Take care, son.
Take care. Big shout out. I want to give a shout out to some of the people in the giving me a super chat. CP the artist gave me a super chat earlier. I didn't really get to him. He said extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And I think that was in regards to the rebirth. And I agree with him. Extraordinary claims they need extraordinary evidence. And they're giving us some evidence. We'll see what happens in that 2019. That's going to really tell us, have the Knicks truly changed the mindset. Big shout out to Jerome Cornett for the super chat. And Flashy, thank you for the super chat. You said you should do a counter and update us to number 40. I will do that. I'll definitely do that. I will keep us updated so we know where we're at. But we plan on having some fun opening night. We're gonna have a good time. So let me see who we're getting to next. I'm gonna jump to Chris. I got you.
Oh, what up,
man? Chris,
what up, Sim? What up?
So what are we doing? We doing the last words?
Last words, man. You got the chance to get the last words in.
I'm gonna just say I like the direction the Knicks are going in right now. I feel like the debate between starting Frank or Trey Burke is a good debate to have, because it just shows how much depth this young team can actually have. I mean, with this season, I just want to see growth. I don't want to have problems with players' minutes like last season when we gave Jared Jack those minutes and all that. And another thing, I like Courtney Lee's about to get traded in a few, I think, before the the training camp starts. So that's something to look out to. And that's all I'm gonna say. It was good.
Hey, it's good to have you. Good to see a new face in the chat.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah, I've been watching for a long time. This is just my first time calling in.
Yeah. All right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Peace, man.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Peace. Big shout out to Mr. GQ with the super chat. Said you are not going to be on the actual court. You guys will be sitting in the section 6 for warm up shoot around. The lounges will be on the Chase Bridge level. Yes, the lounges will be on the Chase Bridge level. And it said we'll be in section 6 for the shoot around. Okay. All right. But I get what you mean. Yeah. Appreciate that, Mr. GQ. Appreciate that. All right, so who we gonna get to next? Let's see. Aunt G.
We had a good discussion tonight. These guys, they're crazy, but I like chatting with them. But I just, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. No Kevin Knox to the dunk contest, like I said before. I like the road rebirth word. I love that word. I like it better than rebuild. It just sounds more exciting. I like the direction. I'm excited. I think we're gonna be better sooner than people think, and I'm excited.
All right, man. Definitely. I will
rebirth.
We'll be back on Sunday. I'll see you on Sunday.
Definitely.
All right. All right, Aunt. Peace, man. Later.
Deuces.
Ooh. All right, see what we coming to. The Prince. I'm on you, my brother. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Sim? My bad about earlier, man. I think I had some technical. I had a Moutier night. Tonight.
Yeah. I thought you was the Moutier supporter up there. I thought you was the Moutier guy. What's up?
Yeah, that's definitely my guy. But I definitely had a Moutier night, man. But yeah, I definitely think we in a rebuild, like I was talking about earlier. So like I said, rebirth, rebuild, whatever you want to call it. But I think we on the cusp of, like I said, doing something great. Outside of that, I look at Trier definitely being something that we're going to look as a gym. Like I said, like Mitchell and Knox coming in soon. I also believe, like Ed said earlier, I think we're in a good place, and I think we're looking forward to, next season. So regardless of what come about, I think it's going to be positive. Knox, I really don't look at him as a dunk competition dunker. I know he can, he can get up there and he can fly, but I don't know, maybe he got something up his bag, some tricks up his bag, tricks up his sleeve, or in his little repertoire that he ain't showed us. So maybe he might be different. But I think Mitchell Robinson, I like to see him, because remember Dwight, when he was in the dunk competition at 7 foot. So I would like to see Mitchell out there. I think that'd be nice.
Okay. All right, Prince. I'm gonna catch you.
Keep doing your thing, Sim.
For sure, man. I'm gonna catch you Sunday night.
Hey, always, bro.
All right, peace, man.
Take it easy.
Let's see who we coming to. We coming to Isaiah. I hope you got your audio fixed. So we coming to you.
You can hear me, Sim?
I can hear you, man.
Yo, Mark. Oh my God. I'm gonna flame you in the next chat, bro. Don't do it. But yo, Sim, so it's not really my fault. I was gonna ask a question. So like the 205, I could give you, if I give you for 410, I wanted to get me and my girl a ticket. That's straight?
Yep. You can purchase it right on the website. You can purchase 2 tickets right on the website.
And where's the link at? I'm sorry, I wasn't really like.
It's in the chat. But if you go to nothingbutnicks.com and then click on the button for events, it's right there. All right, you got me? You can't look.
Sim. All right, Sim. My final note is, who's Mark look like a whole ass Oreo cookie?
See that?
I want to end on that note. You can kick.
I'm taking him out. I'm kicking him out because we couldn't even hear what he said. He tried to throw it. He thought he threw some shade at him. He's already sitting in the shade, but he threw some shade at him, and you couldn't even hear what he said. All right, Mark. It's on you, Mark. Since Isaiah brought you up, it's on you, bro.
No, see, good for him, because he wanted to joke on me, and I told him you don't want to joke with me. But anyway, like I was saying, for all of the people in the chat, let's get the 40 people so we get the suit. So you have a good night, get some laughs, y'all come out, meet Sim, possibly meet me, for the people in there saying I might not go, I'm paying tomorrow morning as I get up. I'm going to make sure I'm there, because I was going to go regardless of this situation, but this even made it more better. $200 for suit, that's a steal. So 40 y'all people in this chat, like I said, go steal your mother, your brothers, your sister's debit card, credit card. Just make it happen for Sim, man. So we have a good night.
Happen, man. We're gonna have a good night. We're gonna have fun. And if this works out, we'll do a couple of them more throughout the season. You know what I'm saying?
And if y'all don't come, y'all wanksis, and y'all gonna hear from me every day in the chat as I'm alive.
All right, Mark. I appreciate it, man. Definitely.
Don't be scared, y'all. Don't be scared, man.
Don't be scared. All right, Mark.
All right, yo.
At you, man. Peace.
Peace.
My man, Viv, it's on you, bro.
All right, Sim. I actually didn't even realize until you told me right now that earlier in the chat that there was the tickets for the opening night. So
yeah.
Now I'm definitely down for that. Actually, I didn't even realize it. So it should be good to go. I'm going to see if I can make it through.
Okay. Yeah,
especially I can go to work for a little bit and then just head straight there. It'll be a good time. But to really close it out, really got 2 main points. The first one about the players, I have a feeling, this type of vibe that it's pretty much like you can kind of relate to it almost. There's a lot of like a high school, almost middle school, high school, there's something like developmental vibe going on right now, in a sense that you see a lot of off-season work on like a lot of specifics, guys that are running around the track, getting their conditioning, getting their workout game going on. A lot of that is just seems like they're focusing on a lot of the basics, and you seem to miss a lot of that. Especially with the veteran teams, they don't really focus on the basics. They focus on, okay, how am I going to get ready for the season, just overall. But, to see some of these players kind of focusing on some of the smaller aspects of the game, and, it's almost like a type of like vibe where like these guys are like just like scrappy and, just trying to make a roster spot in like high school. There's no money involved, no nothing. It's just, very, very gritty in that type of that type of perspective. Right. I like that vibe. It's very organic. It's very back to the back to the basics in that type of sense. That's what we kind of really needed, especially the last 6, 7, 8 years, whatever. Even before that, there's a lot of lack of fundamentals and key, focusing on like that the real like key parts of your game. See kind of that, especially from a coaching perspective, it's very refreshing. Now the second part. About separation between real fans, fake fans, whatever. Look, I've been a fan. The Knicks were one of the first teams I was able to watch on TV. It just so happened that year ended up being the lockout season. So I could tell you that pretty much I've seen 4, 5, or 6 different graphics of MSG during those last 20 years. I saw each and every single blowout loss, including Martin Luther King Day blowout loss at home. I think this was 2002 against the Charlotte Hornets, Baron Davis Hornets. If you had to sit through those years, if you had to sit through the years where there were no players above the height of 6'9", and I could pretty much count the number of dunks that were going on that actually happened in the regular season. I'm talking about those 2002, 2003 Knicks, the team that couldn't even dunk, that no one was above 6'9" in height. Right. If you had to sit through those years, and then you had to sit through the chaos where Larry Brown had pretty much started everyone who was, when they were in a game facing, whatever hometown this guy was from, they would start that guy. If you remember those years and you had to go through all of that, that clearly separates, people who've been real Knicks fans and people who just become Knicks fans in, the last 2 years, 1 year, right, or maybe during the mellow years or whatever years. That's just my 2 cents. If you've seen all that, then we can have a real discussion.
Okay, all right, I'm with you, Viv. Hey, Viv, I hope to see you at opening night, man. But if not, we're gonna be live. You know what I'm saying? I'll be live streaming from my phone probably, because they're not gonna let me bring everything. They're not gonna let me bring everything in there. So it'll be
nah. I mean, it's really just the experience that's priceless in the end of the day. So
but it's gonna be
whatever
nice.
We can do to get that experience.
Exactly. So Viv, all right, man. I appreciate you coming in, and I'll talk to you Sunday.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Later, man. Peace.
Peace.
And Guillermo, it's on you, man. And I saved you for last, Guillermo, because let me get you open first. There we go. I saved you for last, man, because you came at it. You want to eradicate these fake fans. You came at it.
Yeah, because you know why, man? And I'll say two things. I'm gonna talk on the fake fans, and I'm gonna talk about rebuild versus the rebirth thing, man. When people talk about fans, right? You gotta take into account that we put money in the pockets of these people. We're the ones that, when the Knicks were winning 20, 30 games a season, we were the ones that had the subscriptions to MSG or whatever, NBA, whatever, to watch these Knicks. We're the ones that, when the Knicks couldn't get more than 2 wins in a row, we were buying tickets to these games, man. So I know it sounds crazy. People talk about, who cares if they're fake fans? Well, we're the people that keep these teams afloat, man. I understand it's New York, But take into account, if a team was losing money in New York, they're not going to exist anymore in New York. So when I was, walking around praying to God that we would somehow beat the Spurs back in 1999, I had people who were my age who would call me crazy, who would call me nerdy, a geek, because I like the Knicks or because I was a diehard Knicks fan. And now those same people are trying to go on Instagram and talk about, I want to be a Knicks fan, blah, blah. So just imagine that you worked or you at least supported something for 10, 15 years, and then somebody else who was making fun of you about that fandom comes in and steals that life from you. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about it. It's like, if you weren't riding with us before, just enjoy the game, sit back, to go on Instagram and, you're there for the selfies or whatever to steal other people's spot. Like, nah, man, if you're loyal to me, man, like, I'm all about loyalty. If you're loyal to me, man, when I come up, you're going to eat too, man. That's how I feel about these teams, man. So all these fake people, man, like I said, we need ultras, not violent people, not people who are going to attack anyone. But you got to call out these people. You got to roast these people. When you see them on Instagram or whatever news station, you got to roast them, man. Like, get out of here with that crap, man. Embarrass them. Now, on the rebuild thing, man, like I said last time, man, we cannot fall for the hot girl on Instagram, man. What we need to do is look at Fizdale, man. Fizdale, the only way it's going to be, right now it's a rebuild, right? Because James Dolan hasn't left. A rebirth is if you have a new owner and the branding of the Knicks changes. Right now it's a rebuild, man, because this is his MO. When he sucks with a GM or with a certain regime, he gets rid of them, which is not a bad thing, but given his track record, it could be a bad thing. The only way we can tell if this rebuild is successful is not if the free agents come in 2019 and come as our saviors or whatever, because that could go awry too. The only way is that, look, Fizdale says that he coaches defense and he makes guys better at the basket, right? So if you watch all these guys from the Knicks, if Tim Hardaway, if Moutier, if Hazonia, all these guys aren't playing better defense and finishing more at the rim, and we don't have a better record because of that or a better record period, then that's how you can tell if Fizdale's a really good coach or not. Waiting for Kevin Durant, who has alpha talent, but a beta personality because he's responding to idiots on Instagram. If you're waiting for that to come and save the Knicks without any supporting cast or people to keep him grounded and to take pressure off of him, you're banking. You're trying to play the lottery in 2019. So to me, like I said, and I'm saying this all the time, it comes down to culture. If Fizdale can change the culture where everyone's playing hard defense, guys are finishing more at the rim, that's when I'll give him his props. But right now, Fizdale's just another coach. He's almost like another Hornacek to me. It doesn't matter. I don't care about all the accolades. I don't care about whatever these players are saying. I want to see wins, and I want to see a change in philosophy in the game. Once I see that, then we could talk about change, man. The last person I saw bringing change to the Knicks was Pat Riley. Pat Riley came from the Lakers, Showtime Lakers. When he came to the Knicks, he played that rough, gritty 90s basketball defense, and we were in the playoffs every year, man. That's a real culture change, man. So until I see something of semblance of different philosophy that's successful with these players that Fizdale's trying to bring, and like I said, finish at the basket and defense, we can't talk about rebirth or whatever this stuff is, man. We got to look at it as another change, and we have to see results. See, like Fizdale, this is Fizdale. This is my last thing. This is what Fizdale said. You earn what you eat, right? So let's see if Fizdale got to earn what he eats or earns what he kills. Excuse me, sorry. You got to earn what he kills. So I want to see some killing, which would be killing some of these losses off our team record. And once he does that, then I'll be like, all right, he deserves it. He brought the Knicks back. So thanks for taking my call, man. I'll try to see you open at night. I'll definitely check the link out. I didn't even know about that, but I'm always here to support, man. I love this channel, love the chat, even though everyone's gone, man. Salute to you, man. Thanks for having me.
If you can get there, you can get there. If not, then you can join us, as we're going live. So I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All right, man. Salute, man. Take care, y'all.
Peace. And there we go. That is the end of the show. Good show. I enjoyed the show. Fun show. I just want to remind you guys, if you look back in the chat, you'll see links to the Fantasy Basketball League. There's two. There's a free league. There's a cash league. Take your chances. $20 to get into the cash league. You can win $200. All right, and then, of course, you got the free league. We're taking 20 teams in each. I think right now we got about 8 teams in each. So there's still a chance. It'll also be in the description. So you can check the description. You can check the link in the description. I also put a link up for NBNY Football League. There's a pick'em league and then there's a regular league. It's a 12-team league. If you want to get in it, Click the link, join up to the league. The live draft for the football league is going to be on NBNY. So subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. All right. Pick'em, when we talk about Pick'em, it's going to be on NBNY. All right, we're going to have the live NBA the fantasy drafts for the NBA leagues live here. The first draft is, I forgot the date. I think it's September 19th. But if you join the league, you'll see the date. It's going to be live here. Also, as you heard everyone talking, we will be at opening night versus the Atlanta Hawks. 40 tickets are available for you to attend with us. It's $205 for a ticket or $220 for a ticket. $220, you get a free Nothing But Knicks. Well, not a free. You get a Nothing But Knicks t-shirt if you pay $220. $205, that's the base cost. You get to see the game. Courtside, you get to watch the pregame warm-ups. Food and beverages will be in a lounge. And you get a tour of Madison Square Garden. NothingButKnicks.com. Click on the events button. You can purchase your tickets there. Hopefully, I get a chance to see you guys at the season opener. But I'm sure I'll see you guys next Sunday. And listen, if you can't make it, it's cool. Join us on the live stream and have fun anyway. All right? I'll talk to you guys Sunday night, 10:30. Peace.